Hello, people of the internet. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Happy Tuesday to you all. Happy Taco Tuesday to you all. Hopefully you get that reference. But we have got new music to check out today. And this one's very exciting because this is the first time in a hot minute we have a debut where we can cover it properly. Of course, while I was away on my little hiatus earlier in the month, I guess late last month, early this month, of course, Rise had their full debut, and well, we should have stopped by on Kprofiles back then, but of course we weren't around for that. And that was one of those MVs and debuts that we had to cover later, much later. But that's not the case today because we have a brand new group, I believe from Jellyfish, titled, or they're called, I think, Even? Or at least the Hangul, it looks like it's Even. Or maybe it's Even, one of the two. Either way, they've debuted today. They have a title track out titled Trouble, and if you know the rules around here, we check out every single debut, or as many debuts as possible. And that's what we're going to do today. We're going to hop on over to Kprofiles, quickly run through the members, see what like age ranges, backgrounds, things like that, and jump on the title track. So, timeline below is going to be chapter based off whatever we're doing. If you're in for the long haul like me, welcome aboard. Let's get started. DJ! You know what to do. Right, let's see what this group is all about. 7-member Evening's newest étoile. So I guess Even, that works for me. Formed by Jellyfish. Participants on Boys Planet. Okay, I think I remember being told that, or at least reading about that. For those of you who don't know, especially if you're coming over from like Zero Base One content, I didn't watch Boys Planet. In fact, I haven't watched an EVNNNE like Produce series and like Produce family show since Produce 48. I can't hack it, so I won't know any of these guys. So this will be a great learning experience for me. Member profile: Keita, Terazono Keita. Okay. July 4th, 01. Japonese. Member of Cypher under Rain Company. Okay. Very nice. Did it say position? Just leader. Okay. Role models: Big Bang and a fan of 21. Favorite song is Rhythm Ta by Icon. Okay. Rhythm Ta. I wonder if we're going to have a little bit of like a rap leader in a way. Next up, Hanbin, Park Hanbin, March 1, 2002, former Cube under Wake 1, contestant on Loud and Boys Planet. Role models is Juyeon and Woods. Oh, interesting pairing. Yi Jonghyun, September 1102, under Wake 1, 15th on Boys Planet. Role models entities: Mork Lee, and V. Favorite song is 101's Energetic. What a tune that is. Yu Seung-on. January 2nd, 04, so we're into the 04s now. From Busan, 16th. Under Yuehua, former SM trainee. Baekhyun and Dio, Seungjae, highlights Yosod. We're moving Ji Yoon So. October 15th, 04, under Yuehua. Yunso and Nayeon of Twice are cousins. Interesting. Ooh, okay. I kind of like when you get actual like familial connections in K-pop. I find that very interesting. Like, I only found out very recently that Weekly's Jihan and Lucy's Wonsung are related. Of course, you have groups like Akmu, Onewe's Dongmyoung with ONEUS's Xion. I love familial connections like that, so that's very cool. Another Juyeon role model. And favorite song is Dragon by Tempest. Moon Jung Hyung, March 31st, 05. Under Wake 1, Kang Daniel role model, 29th. Park Ji-hoo, 14th, 06. Maknae. Used to be under Wake 1 for moving to Higher. Higher. There's someone recently I listened to that was under Higher. I forget who it was. Boys Planet. After the show, went back to Wake 1. Role model is Zico. 33rd in Boys Planet. Okay. So we have a pretty wide range of final placements on the show. That's very interesting. This is kind of an interesting strategy for, I guess we'll pop it up over this screen here. That's kind of an interesting, I'm trying to think of other groups that have taken members solely like from that season's produce show. There's, members that have, there are groups that have certain members from the just recent produce show. Whether it was like Everglow had Yiren and Shion after Produce 48. Lightsum had Nayoung and Choon after Produce 48. Of course, there are groups that add members from the Produce and Planet shows afterwards, like Sean of Billy got added after Billy had initially debuted and things like that. But to see an entire lineup from the most recent Produce/Planet show that isn't the final winning group is really interesting, and I wonder how long they're going to be around for. Very interesting. But that's besides the point. We have the song to check out. This is Trouble by EVNNE. Here we go. No captions, unfortunately, but we'll send it anyways.
Yo, it's crazy. Like, ain't nobody wanna come with the new thing. But I just might look.
Keep it building. Oh, that brief head voice flip is really nice. Adds a lot of character. My guy threw in a Wingardium Leviosa into a flow. Okay. And I like that they just cut all the intensity for the very beginning of this pre-chorus here. Long build again. It's surprisingly more minimal of a chorus than I thought. It's kind of giving me certain EDM vibes. Oh, and a nice slow build back into the verse. For a song that's, I think, like compositionally pretty minimal, every beat packs a nice hefty punch to it. Like, this chorus drop is musically not the most complex drop in the world, but if you know your EDM, it's very much similar to Tiesto's Boom, where the 808 is the really only driving part of the chorus drop, but you feel every single hit of it. Bum 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 bum. Bum 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 bum. There was a song earlier in the release season that we listened to that was stylistically kind of similar to this. Was it Tan's Heartbeat? TAN's Heartbeat? I think that might have been it. But it's one of those drops where you feel the hefty like punch of the beat in the chorus, and that's about it. Like it's one of those songs where the intensity comes in like the intensity comes entirely from the beat. And that's not a bad thing. Like when you feel every single punch, you feel every single punch. It's very nice to listen to. Especially as someone who had a pretty big EDM phase growing up, going through high school in the early to mid 2010s. It's very much reminiscent of that EDM scene and when I was really locked in on EDM music. Like it's got the punch to it. It's an EDM song with a lot of punch, but not a lot of like toppings or like extra little spices. It's really just beat and the energy of the beat. That's very interesting. It's a very bold strategy for a debut title track. Am I mad at it? Not really. In fact, as someone who's really not the biggest fan of like rap music, or I won't say biggest fan, but like as someone who doesn't really understand rap music all that much, I'm slowly getting better at it. But on a song like this where the beat is very heavy, to have a top line that isn't entirely melodic and more rides on the fact that the beat is really rhythmic and bouncy, to have a top line that is more rap based, I think is a great fit. Because it just tacks onto that bouncy feeling to it. And it's really nice. And it's a good amount of rap too. It's not too much. And it's not like overshadowing the vocals. The vocals break apart the rap really nicely. And it's one of those songs that chugs. And not mad at it one bit. I do want to go back to the beginning though. See if it loads.
Yo, it's crazy. Like, and nobody wanna come with the new thing. But I just might. Look, yo, okay.
Like already up at this point, the song hasn't even like started yet in terms of like the verse. It's just one intro fill, right? And you have that brassy synth bass, kind of the brassy bass. That's all there is. You get that nice kind of long held, it's not a vocal fry, but it's teetering on that where it's like a vocal riser in a way. And you feel the song's energy build up, even though really the only thing that's happening is except an octave or two lower, and I can't hit that because my vocal range isn't that wide. But the song has a lot of ups and downs in terms of the energy without doing a whole lot. So shout out the mixing team for that because they've done a good job with that. So we're halfway through the first verse, and it's very evident if you pay attention to the instrumental part that the instrumental part really hasn't changed all that much. There's just a top line now. And really just by that one addition, you bump up the energy levels just one notch higher. And I believe in the second half of the verse, they add another instrument. Yeah, there's a very, very subtle extra brassy synth part. But really, the instrumental part hasn't changed a whole lot. If it's changed maybe 5%. Now that there's an extra vocal part now, again, it's adding on top of the kind of same base formula, so to speak, and it's just layer after layer after layer, and that's how they're building the song. It's like a building block, just base, 1 layer, 2 layer, 3 layer, 4 layer. And that's how they grow the song. And it's very consistent, and it's very easy to follow. And that gradual progression really keeps the energy of the song going, and I think that's great. And then, of course, pre-chorus. Kill everything to the bottom. Slowly build it up again. And then, just pure heartbeat, that's it. It's like hard bass almost. I'm trying to think of a good comparison to this, because I thought initially Tiesto's Boom has a drop that's very similar to this. But the more I listen to it, the more it's giving me kind of Russian hard bass. Like, hard bass in the triple stripe Adidas tracksuit. Kind of that. I don't know why I'm getting that feeling, but I like it. I unironically really like hard bass, and the kind of like drum and bass EDM genres, even though I don't listen to them as much. So this kind of slots into that guilty pleasure EDM genre side for me, and I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it at all. Well, I'm pleasantly surprised by it. That bass is, that's a nice bass line. That's a very nice bass line. And it might be one of the more aggressive bass pop songs that we've had in a hot minute. There have been a few like really good EDM-based boy group songs that have dropped, but this might be the hardest in terms of, if we're just talking purely based off of that EDM bass, which is quite exciting. As someone who likes EDM, that's a very exciting time when you get a group that just kind of pops up and they've taken one thing and just kind of bumped it up a few notches. So shout out the guys from EVNNE. Hopefully they do well. And I do wonder what they're going to end up doing down the road. Very, very intrigued by a project group like this. But that is it for me today. Thank you all for watching along with me. Hopefully you enjoyed it as much as I did. One last request from me today. Let us work together as a community to bring a little bit of extra happiness back into the world. Whether it be, checking with your friends and family, holding the door open for somebody, or even picking up a piece of trash off the street. Just one small act of kindness that may brighten up someone else's day to day. And know that wherever you are in the world, should you ever be going through a tough time in your life, for whatever reason it may be, even though I'm just some guy on the internet who waffles about music in his free time, know that I will always be a friend, an ally, and a shoulder to lean on whenever you need me. So take care of yourselves, take care of each other, spread the love, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.